Terrahawks, stay on this channel. This is an emergency.
Today we're going to look at an unforgotten toy line that may not be forgotten if you were living in the UK. If you were from the US, you probably never heard of this line, probably never played with it. Hell, you probably don't even know the television show it's based on. We're talking Terrahawk. I hope I said Terrahawks right. You'll let me know in the comments if I didn't. You're really good at doing that. So what is this? Well, it's a toy line based on a British science fiction television show. The television show, of course, was called Terrahawks, and it was created by Gary Anderson and Christopher Burr. It aired between 1983 and 1986. The show was set in the future year of 2020, and the Terrahawks organization has to defend Earth from the evil androids led by Zelda. If the name Gary Anderson sounds familiar, it's because he made another show called Thunderbirds, and we knew about Thunderbirds in the US. I wouldn't say I watched it as a kid, but it was one of those shows when you were about 19, 20 years old, you would come home kind of high, maybe a little drunk, about 3 a.m., and you would look at it and it would blow your mind. Is it real? Is it cartoon? Is it puppets? Is it claymation? It was like an acid trip. This show was a little different. It didn't use the same technology that Thunderbirds used. It used more latex puppet, but gave it a strange look. Just makes me uncomfortable looking at. The action figure line was produced by Bandai. We all know Bandai. It's a Japanese toy company still going strong today. In 1983, they released these toys in the UK. Being that the Thunderbolts had a big cult following in the UK, and that's where the show premiered, you can see why they targeted releasing these only in the UK. The figures stood around 4 inches tall, and like most figures of the time, the neck and the arms and the legs moved. They were human creatures and some aliens and some robots, and I'm not going to sit here and name each one because they have weird names and I'm going to pronounce them wrong, so we'll just write the name on the screen. But you can still tell me in the comments whatever I said wrong in this video. It wasn't a massive toy line, but it did have a lot of figures, and we're going to take a look at each one of those. But while I was looking at this video, I noticed some of the same figures had different color clothes. I don't know if they changed clothes on the show and this was supposed to be represented in the toy line, or Bandai just painted a few different colors. I'm not really sure. But let's take a look at those figures. First up, well, you can call it a redhead, but she's red all over. Oh, she must be a commie. That's a little political humor. Here she is, Captain Kate, whatever her last name is. And then we have Captain Mary. She looks like my 9th grade typewriter teacher. I can still feel the pain in my knuckles. She used to pop you in the knuckles with that ruler every time you took your fingers off the home key. Don't miss that. And then you got this doctor one right here. Looks like he's trying to dress like a blue snaggletooth. What's up with that? And how about the Lieutenant Hawkeye? Now that's a name I can pronounce, Lieutenant Hawkeye. And the nerd of the line was also a lieutenant. Here he is right here. How did I know he's the nerd of the toy line? Well, look at those glasses. Those are nerd glasses if I've ever seen it. And probably one of the worst action figures I've ever seen is this right here. I mean, this thing looks so boring it makes FX7 look like Voltron. And yep, they released another one, looked just like it, but it had a little, but it said 101 on it, so it was a little different. But here it is, boring. And the evil witch, or I guess I call her witch, look like a witch. The evil one of the line was Zelda. Zelda, right now, don't get me confused with Nintendo games. This is before that came out. But here's Zelda. Look at this thing. Whew, that thing's going to be in my nightmares, at least for the next 7 months. Also, die-cast ships were released. You had the Battle Hawk, you had the Battle Tank, you had Hawkwing, you had Space Hawk, and you had Tree Hawk. As you can see a theme here, they named everything something Hawk. There was also a line of pullback vehicles. You know these. We say in the US, pull them back and rip. I don't know what they said over in the UK, because you know those weird people. I once heard them refer to a cookie as a biscuit. Oh, I don't understand. There was also a couple of wind-up toys released, as you can see right here, a Battle Hawk and a Battle Tank. There was also a line of vehicles to go more along with the line of the action figures. First, you have that boring FX7 wannabe droid thing. I don't know how fun that thing is. It looks like a gas pump at an old 1950s gas station. And, of course, you have Battle Hawk. There it is right there. And Hawkwing. You see, the wings look kind of like a hawk. And you had Terrahawk. That looks like a little bird that would sit on your shoulder. And then you have Treehawk. That looks like the type of toy my sister would take from my room and never return. And you could buy a 3-pack with the Terrahawk, Space Hawk, and Hawkwing. So what's this toy line worth today? Is it raking in a lot of money on the secondary market? Nah, not really. I mean, I've seen some of the ships go for high dollars, low hundreds to about $600, but most of the figures, even on a decent card, can run you $30 to $40. Hell, I saw some on eBay that sold for around $15. Now, the action figure line isn't bad. It's like the standard action figure line back in 1983. There's nothing really groundbreaking here, but they don't look bad either. I can't really tell you how good it's based on the show because I'm going to be honest with you. I've never heard of this television show or this action figure line. I've been, collecting action figures since the early 90s, reading the toy magazines, going to toy shows, and this is the first I can remember ever seeing these toys or hearing about them. So when I saw it, I said, I've got to put this in a series of forgotten toys because it's at least forgotten to us here in the U.S. I know some of you are watching this are from the U.K., and you're probably saying to yourself, how did this bloody chap not know about this toy line or the television show? Even my mom used to watch the show when she was eating her chocolate chip biscuit. Now, anyway, that's a look at the Bandai action figure line, Terrahawks. Let me know in the comments below. Do you know about this show? Do you know about the toys? And let me know in the comments what I pronounced wrong. You know you will.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.